damn it! I'm sick and tired of the same first-person shooters. I'm sick and tired of the same old microtransaction bullcrap, and I'm sick and tired of the rushed development process that makes video games unplayable. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm out of touch that I can't even form a constructive opinion about video games anymore. But there is one person I know who can. Okay, listen up. After giving it some thought, I've decided to let you make your review videos once again. But however, there are rules that you have to follow. Rule number 1, you can only review games from my choice only because it is my YouTube channel. And rule number 2, no researching on the internet for inspirational purposes. But other than that, those are the 2 only conditions I have. So Cheese, what do you say? Cheese? 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 Sorry man, to be honest, I sort of fell asleep while you were talking about the rules, but yeah, I would love to talk about video games again. Okay, fine, whatever. Doki Doki Literature Club is up now. Knock yourself out. Oh, sick! Well, this'll be interesting. It does look like a dating simulator, so I'm not really expecting a whole lot, but anyhow, let's begin. A little bit of Monica in my life, a little bit of Monica by my side, a little bit of Monica's all I need, a little bit of Monica's what I see. This will be my first time in a long time discussing a game that was released on PC since Cuphead, which was a couple of years ago, so I am looking forward to once again diving back into the world of PC. But how do I even start off this video? Doki Doki Literature Club was released in 2017 and was published and developed by Team Salvato. It's a visual novel anime game that focuses on storytelling and relationships with different characters, which doesn't surprise me because there's a ton of Steam games with that genre. It does look like a simple dating simulator, but as you go through this game, it becomes something much more unexpected. I know it may sound weird to some of you when I say that, but trust me. I watched one of my favorite YouTubers, Radical Soda's video on Doki Doki, giving out his journey through the game. Hey, wait a second. I thought I told you not to look anything up for inspirational purposes. Oh, no. I was just saying that this was my first time seeing Doki Doki from his video, which was a couple of years ago, and that's what brought me to playing the game for myself. Well, anyway, and despite never hearing about this game before, I somehow really wanted to try this one out. And so today we're going to play this game and see just why this game is so popular. So with that said, let's begin. We start the game off with choosing our main character's name. I went with Poopy Pants, so yeah, that just shows off my sense of humor. For the sake of this game being a visual novel, I will do some voice acting. I've been meaning to use my talents for a while, and now I'm able to do it in this game.
I overslept again, but I got you this time.
Okay, maybe this needs some work. The game's plot is that your childhood best friend Sayori wants you to join the club she's a part of for after school called the Literature Club. You check the place out and realize the club is filled with very cute girls. The characters you'll meet in the club is Sayori, as mentioned earlier, and she's not only your best friend, but she can also be a bit childish, clumsy, and bubbly as well. But you also can't help but like her for that. Sayori's probably my favorite character, to be honest. Next is Yuri, and she can be shy at first glance, but she's a type of person who's not afraid to speak up whatever's on her mind, even if she has to apologize afterwards. Natsuki is the third character, and she may seem small, but don't judge her for her size. She can be a brat and loud-spoken, and at the same time, she does have a soft side when you get to know her. And finally, you have Monica. She's the president of the literature club, and she's pretty much good at nearly everything. She's an athlete as well as smart and quite popular in school. After giving it some thought, the main character decides to join the club, and within the next few days, you try to connect with one of the girls to see who would you like to go out with. In other words, which bae is your waifu? I'll talk more about the story later on, but for now, I'll mention the game's look. I do dig the graphics in Doki Doki. The background to each setting is very colourful, and the character models are nice to look at. Depending on who you hang out with, you'll come across different side stories when characters talk about themselves, so you get a better idea of what type of person they are. It could be Natsuki talking about manga, or Yuri discussing the latest book she's reading. You go through cutscenes, and if you have already experienced that scene before, you can click the skip button and the game will skip over to the next section instead of listening to the same dialogue over again. You can check out the history of past conversations, and you can save and reload your game in your save files in case you want to go back and try a different scenario. In order to hang out with a certain character, you have to go home and write a poem. Then you click on the words that matches the character's personality, and the person you impress the most will be the one you hang out with during the club's meeting. Then later on during the day, you share your poem to your club members and the story progresses from there. And just an example, here's a poem from Sayori herself.
The way you glow from my blinds in the morning, it makes you feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. But I'm not mad. I want breakfast!
Yeah, I have zero regrets there. Which brings me to the gameplay side, and honestly, I'm not a fan of it in Doki Doki. I know I shouldn't complain too much about it because it is a visual novel game and it's supposed to be like that, but I guess in terms of reaching my needs in the gameplay side, I think to me it falls flat here. I really do believe that gameplay takes a video game to a whole new level. You can present me with one of the best written stories I've ever read in a long time, but if it doesn't feature any gameplay, then I won't be interested. You can show me so many Telltale games that are different in story, but I'll reply with, the gameplay is the same old shit. Maybe having a feature where you can explore around from your house to school and trigger certain events that could be rewarding and help you boost your conversations with characters would have been something I would have done. Again, I'm not complaining too much here, but it's just a personal opinion for me. I really do like the soundtrack, however. Not only is it peaceful, but also relaxing. I did catch myself humming to the music every once in a while. So in order to talk more about the game, I will have to talk about the story, and this brings us to spoiler territory. If you don't want to be spoiled, then please leave the video now. This is your first and only warning, and really, it's best to experience the game for yourself rather than some random person on the internet spoiling the game for you. Like me, for example. A few days go by and Sayori mentions she's been going through depression and she's unsure of what her true feelings are. Later on, she'll confess that she's in love with you more than she loves herself, and that makes her happy but also scared at the same time. You're then given the option to say I love you or you'll always be my friend, but regardless of your choice, it doesn't change the ending. And the ending is, well, it's something. Now, I'm about to reveal a serious image that may disturb a lot of people, and I understand that because it disturbed me as well. So if you want to avoid that, I highly recommend you skip to this part right here to save yourself from nightmares. I'll even wait a few seconds so you can take your time. You're still here? Okay, I did warn you, so here it is.
I still remember my first reaction when I saw this, and while I can't reenact the scene, but just to let you know, it involved a ton of nightmares.
Despite your efforts to comfort her, Sayori commits suicide, and this part really went from 0 to 100. There's been a few hidden messages, but at first they aren't as serious until now. Your main character is sobbing and wishes he could have done something earlier, but it's too late as the screen turns black and the game ends.
So now you're probably thinking to yourself, hey, it's only a game, right? So why don't we just start the game all over again and try to prevent it from happening? Good idea, let's do that. What the fuck is this?
The game begins all over again, this time without Sayori as her file has been deleted. Someone actually went into your own file and deleted one of the main characters. Also, your save data, your progress has been erased as well. Monika, Yuri, and Natsuki are still here, but something's off. Way off. You notice a few glitches and bugs occur, and you later realize these glitches are on purpose. The music pitches up and down, the screen reveals a different color shade to blood, and hell, even the personality of your new friends change. Yuri goes from a kind and gentle person to a complete psychopath that's fallen in love with you, and it starts to get really creepy. Everyone is more mean to each other, the dialogue is different compared to your first playthrough, and you even get a moment when the game breaks the fourth wall. It doesn't surprise me at this part because many other games have done it before and it's really popular to do so. But what makes the second playthrough great is the tension building. In your first playthrough, you don't see that much animation pop-ups as it is the same facial expressions and nothing too much happens. But on your second playthrough, when the music slowly turns off and you see a wacky animation, you get shocked because you haven't seen any drastic changes in Doki Doki up until this point. I think it worked out well in the end. And I want to talk more about this game. Really, I do, but if I do that, then I'll be spoiling the entire game for you. And this is one of those games that you must see to believe. So I'm just going to end it here. But just a heads up, it gets much more weirder. So that was Doki Doki Literature Club, and as far as the story is concerned, looking back, it's a really impressive story. Once began as a simple and harmless dating simulator, turned into somewhat of a horror adventure that you cannot escape from. It's clear from the start of the video, and some of you may have already known this, that Doki Doki is really something special because I've never seen a dating anime game breaking the fourth wall and messing around with your files before. I think it's awesome. And combine it with an interesting story and nice music, you have a game that will be remembered as an example that you shouldn't judge something just by its cover.
So with that said, I'll be giving Doki Doki Literature Club a score of 7 out of 10. I was going to give it a score of 6 since it is a visual novel game, but since it is one of the best visual novel games I've played, I believe it deserves the extra point. Please give this game a try, and even if you're not a fan of this type of game, but it features a lot more than meets the eye. And after all, how can you say no to Monika of all people? I mean, all you have to do is just think of Monika. Just Monika. Just Monika. Just Monika. What was I talking about again? Oh yeah, that's right. Thank you for watching this video, and if you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram, the links will be down in the description box below. My name is Cheese and Crackers, telling you to keep calm and just think of Monika. Seriously, I'm dead serious. You need to think of Monika no matter where you are, no matter what you do. She will always be stuck in your head, always. So there's no point in fighting it. You just need to think of Monika. Just think of fucking